Well, this is Uncle Putin here. Before I get into this little fast update about stagflation, I got a little kitten around. It's I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's hanging around. I'm feeding him. He's going to be my little kitten, maybe. I'm going to call him Goldie because he's gold color. This could be Uncle Putin. He's got Uncle Putin and Uncle Rocky, right? So, I guess, let me put it to you this way. I know a lot of people are talking about, deflation. Yeah, I guess there is deflation going on, but I can tell you there's another freaking problem with the oil prices going down for Uncle Sam, too. And I'm not knocking Uncle Sam or the USA, but I'm just telling you, high oil prices create a demand for U.S. dollars overseas. All countries have to keep a lot more dollars on hand because in their banks because they have to buy oil to keep their economy going. So it actually decreases the demand for dollars as the oil prices drop. That's a catch-22. I know what they're doing now. I think they're trying to put the squeeze on Putin, and yeah, they are putting the squeeze on him really good, man. I'm telling you. But the other problem is this. They got the situation with the debt in the USA and funded the military. Now, personally, I think the military in the USA ought to be all of us. Volunteer military. To hell with this bullshit. And that's not some armchair stuff, because it's not a joke. But what I'm saying is, the best military is the ones that actually fight for their own country, their own land, and they don't like people coming over here trying to take their shit they work for. That's your best military going. That's not a mercenary military. That's a freaking diehard military. We're going to do the job or come hell or high water. That's your best military, and it don't cost any money. That's one reason I'm against this gun control shit, because the militia is everybody. But I'm pro-USA because I realize it's the only country that actually freaking broke away from the bullshit way back when. There's never, it's not called flag waving, man. It's called freedom waving, because what you got going on here is we got all the tools to fix the problems, man. There's loads of armchair yo-yos out there freaking saying, hey, you delete this, delete that. Anyway, go join Jim Rogers over in Singapore if you think it's better. Go work for him cleaning his freaking house. But I'm just telling you that situation actually is not really good. It really isn't economically for USA. The problem is, as the lower oil prices will stimulate the economy. We'll put more money in people's hands, yes. But it's actually bad for the demand for the dollar overseas. Right now the dollar's strong, but the problem is when the dollar's strong, it's only got one direction to go. Down, not up. It's not, it's kind of like inverse to what the hell you would be thinking. When something seems really strong, it's like, how do you keep it up there on the top? What's going to keep the demand for dollars up? When you decrease oil prices, countries have to hold less dollars to purchase the same amount of oil. That decreases the amount of dollars that they need to have. It lowers the demand for dollars. Now, the other thing is with the debt. Now, I know everybody knows the debt's going up, but what the hell they do with that, playing that swap shit, whatever the hell it was, what Bernanke used to do. He was playing, I forgot what the hell the term is, man, because I'm doing this right off of memory, but they were not using long-term debt to finance the government. They were using, they swapped it over to short-term interest debt, which was lower interest rates. But what's happening is, when they're doing that, they have to freaking refinance more often, and the whole big debt bubble's getting bigger and bigger, and they have to refinance faster and more often. Plus, since they already went to the short-term debt, they already freaking, they did that. I mean, they ain't going to go to you know what I mean? It's like, that's it. I mean, they use that card. That's it. That's the last of it, right? That's the last of it. The other deal is, supposedly, they're still doing QE, but they're slowing down the rate of QE, right? But, the other thing is, like I pointed out before, with Belgium buying up all the U.S. bonds this last time, so a couple months ago, whatever that was, instead of China, because when China said they ain't buying any more U.S. bonds, Belgium took up the slack. Belgium don't have the money to do that. So what was going on? It was like they were the front man for the Fed themselves. You know? So, there is a situation coming up. Now, back in the 70s, you know, they had this thing called stagflation. It was like the economy was stagnant, there was a recession, there was high unemployment, and they had inflation. We're actually going to be coming into that situation. We're going to have that same kind of situation. What I think, where you probably, you know, not to say you do all this money with, silver prices will be going up a lot, and you're going to see big ticket items go down. And oil prices are going to go up a lot. A lot. This right now is temporary, and it's very temporary. They're going to go up a lot, and there's going to be one last super spike in oil. And what that's going to do is going to force everybody to go into renewable energy, period. And it's basically that's when it's going to bring oil down to like garbage, you know what I mean, real low prices. Big oil is going to come down when it actually after it finally super spikes, because people are going to have to do or die, and they're going to have to find, you know, alternatives. You know, necessity is the mother of all invention, and it's like the reason, you know, anything gets priced out of the market. It's, well, you know, that's what happens when new inventions come into play, because there becomes a better, cheaper way to do the same thing, and the same thing's going to happen with energy. Well, what the elite are going to do is they're going to control water and the food, if you let them. See, in the USA, you actually got the power to freaking stop all these yo-yos. People are like, well, why vote? Why do this? Whatever, man. I always take other on that deal, but yeah, actually, right now I'm doing a lot of hands-on stuff too. Because, like, you know, I just put the HHO in a Jeep, and I don't know, I got to do a freaking exhaust system piece or something in there, and a couple other doodads. I figure when the oil goes way up, man, that's a 20% savings on fuel right there on that vehicle. So it's one minor thing I did. So, you know, I think the only way you're really going to fix the problem is you're going to have to roll your sleeves up. And, you know, the other thing that's going to be interjected into the economy here maybe is this damn Ebola crap. It does have the potential to freaking cause a hell of havoc, not maybe to the extent where, you know, the alternative media is going to blow it out of proportion, but it does have the potential to be a major financial burden on the USA and also cause more control through the healthcare system and the CDC and WHO, and making everybody get vaccinated and all this other bullshit. But people don't, you know, they whine and bitch. They don't freaking really protest enough. I mean, they don't. And I'm not talking about they're getting out in the streets. It's more like, there's other ways you could do things that are a little slicker than that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things you can do. People are not thinking outside the box, man. I mean, I know, like, down in Mexico, they don't like paying real estate taxes too much in some areas, so what they do is they just keep getting a new building permit, and they got one little section of the house that's not finished, so it's not completed yet, so they don't have to pay real estate taxes on it because it's cheaper to get the building permit and keep renewing it. I mean, maybe you can't do that in the USA, but I'm talking about that's thinking outside the box right there. You see? So there's always a way, man. But we are going into what you call stagflation, and you're actually going to need this damn silver because the prices of everything is going to be going up. We're not going. I mean, right now it looks like things are going down, down, down. They've been going down for the last few years, but when the pendulum changes, you're going to be thinking like this is old history. You're not even going to look. You're not going to look back at it ever again. We're going to be going into inflation. There's no doubt about it. And the dollar itself is not one of their safest places to be, although it looks like it right now, and it's been strong, and it's been on a tear, and it's been going up. Right now, it's so strong, and it's been so strong for so long, the only place it's got to go is down. And I'm telling you right now, the one thing that's really important, and see, I don't like knocking the United States here, but I'm telling you is that it's a fact that low oil prices, which are being brought down to cause Russia to have to scale back its military spending, scale back its support of Assad in Syria, scale back its support of Iran. At the same time, when they're bringing down the oil prices, it's also bringing down the demand for U.S. dollars, and that is a problem in itself. So, you know, I mean, they're always doing something to freaking get over the next hump. You know, the government's like a freaking business, man. You got to freaking think outside the box, too, and they're doing that, too. The guys that are running this whole Ponzi scheme with the U.S. dollar, they ain't stupid, man. They freaking ain't stupid. But it is actually going to be, I think it's going to get, the situation's going to, when silver, platinum, and palladium, they all ran together, and gold pretty much, you know, gold had probably the least percentage gains versus silver, platinum, and palladium in the late 70s. When that happened, at the same time, we had high unemployment, we had major tensions in the Middle East with Iran, and we also had inflation, all at the same time. So you're going to need that silver for those times. It's not going to be this get-rich scheme. It's not going to be, and it is something you want to keep for the emergencies. And it's not something you ever dump all your money into, because, remember, I've always said that, is because you don't know when this is exactly going to play out. It's been fooling me because I thought, you know, I do know that the oil prices are going to be leading the charge for the metals. And the oil prices in gold go up when there's major conflict and, you know, things get blown up in the Middle East or something really, really serious. Not like the normal ho-hum everyday freaking conflict that's going on in the Middle East every day. But when something really serious happens and Saudi refineries are on fire and stuff, yeah, gold is going to go up, oil is going to go up, and silver, platinum, and palladium are going to start taking off like a rocket and probably pass those two in percentage gains. At the same time, we're going to have a recession, high unemployment, and high inflation here in the United States, so you're going to need that silver. Okay? And what's actually going to turn out to be cheaper is maybe some of the big ticket items, maybe like, I don't know, cars and furniture, you know, people that things are refrigerators and whatever, you know. I don't know. You might want to do a little bit with that too, you know, I don't know. But I'm just telling you, the situation actually is not really good for the U.S. dollar. And I'm not cheering on the Chinese or the Russians or nothing like that. I'm just telling you that that really is the situation. So, you know, I'm a little bit like with the alternative media, but I'm definitely not exactly with them either, you know what I mean? I'm not with the major media either, too, a bunch of yo-yos. But let me just state again, you know, it's a repeat. It's a history repeats itself. What happened in the 70s, I'm saying it again, I got to repeat it because it's like, you know, what happened in the 70s when the price of silver went up. It was platinum, palladium, and gold all went up in oil. There was tensions in the Middle East. There was the Iranian hostage crisis. There was, what do you call it, stagflation, recession. The economy was poor. Major ticket items like car sales were way down. We're starting to see hints of that already. Big time. That's what happens during stagflation. It was inflation and a severe recessionary economy and a high unemployment. And silver, gold, and platinum were going up and everything, but it was also due to tensions in the Middle East. But we have ISIS. I know ISIS is like, you know, I don't want to get into that because I've already probably went too long on this, but I'm just telling you, it's there. It's, you know, the whole thing is ready to blow up in a powder keg at one point in time, and when it does, your metals and oil is going to go up. Be thankful right now for the low prices on the oil, too. It's not going to stay that way. There's going to be emergency situations. So anyway, we got a repeat of history, and they're not going to be able to get out of it this time, unfortunately, because if the last time they raised interest rates really high and they fixed, you know, That was Paul Volcker. They can't do that this time. You know, in 1980, he raised the interest rates real high. They can't do that this time. They're going to wind up devaluing the dollar or something. It's really difficult to say when all this is going to happen, but it's definitely going to happen, and it's not going to be like umpteen years from now. So anyway, roll up your sleeves and do some physical work, because that's actually what's going to get you out of the deal. Don't wait for them to hand it to you. They won't. They won't. Actually, what they're doing is they're looking to reduce the population of the world. And I say to myself, you know, it's not like coming from nowhere that somebody's doing this. It's coming from the elite. And I'm saying is we need to make sure they're the ones that are the useless eaters, not us. And the only way we get to be independent is you got to make yourself be independent by actually doing. And doing counts for a hell of a lot more than talking about it. So anyway, over and out. And you know, we're leading to stagflation, so keep your silver. You're going to definitely need it.